Hello, hello. It's Wednesday. Welcome and welcome and welcome. We're here. It's Ask Coach Catasha. What is that? Oh, it's probably my lashes. I'm still getting used to it. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm going to give y'all a second to slide on in here. See what we talking about. Welcome and welcome. It's Wednesday, and on Wednesdays we do Ask Coach Catasha. And so, what is Ask Coach Catasha? Ask Coach Catasha is our live Q&A for um, our sex education resources. There are not a lot of resources for adults. So I open up this space so that we can get some resources to you guys. You know, I know that there's a lot of education. I noticed that there's a lot of education. Ooh, I am rusty. You know what? Jeez Louise. Sheesh. Okay. Well, hey, you can't win them all. Okay. So it is our live Q&A for any sexual health questions you may have, any questions you may have about relationships or your body or, consent, anything that you may have on your heart that you want to talk about that you don't necessarily have the space to talk about. This is what this is for. This is what this space is for. We are, I'm getting to the end, like right at the end of my busy season, but it's not over yet. I have a gig. I have to do something this weekend, and then I got to do my pleasure class next weekend, which I'm really excited about that because last year I got really, really, really good reviews. On my pleasure class. So I'm excited to, because I got to top that. Like, okay, they gave me really good reviews last time. So now I have to get really greater, fantasticer reviews this time. So that's my goal this time. I've been working on my class. I wanted to go to the library today, but I needed to do some other stuff. So I didn't get to do that, but I hope to be able to go to the library sometime this week. Get some stuff done. So stuff's happening. That book is still sitting where it's sitting. And I know what I said, okay? But I have a lot of stuff going on right now. Like, low key, I think I'm going to have to, like, pause this until, like, the summer. Just because, like, my schedule is so crazy that I don't know. I thought that I would always be able to, like, do it. But, I don't know. I guess it's some more work I need to do. I guess I need to work out the logistics a little bit more. Um, but we'll figure it out. We'll work it out. We'll figure it out. the We do have a question. You know what? And I only checked like, oh my gosh. And you right. But I only checked like two places. I got distracted and did not check any of the other places, and I have not been online, so I don't know if anybody's like sent me any questions or anything because I've been not avoiding, but I just had to decompress. This is mostly just going to be stuff from uh people just sending me different messages. I don't know if any of these are for y'all, but I'm going to go down and I'm going to see because I don't want to miss nobody. Ooh. Okay. 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 Hold on. No, that ain't a question for you though. That was okay. Well, it's not in there, and I think I have been. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. I know that's rude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been getting my butt whooped lately. I mean, I say that every week though, so at some point y'all gonna stop believing me, but I really do be getting my butt whooped. Okay, no, it isn't. There isn't any other ones anywhere else. It was just that one. Okay. So, we had one question for the week. Well, first, let me give my disclaimer, my my spiel. Okay. Um, you can ask me whatever questions you want if you pop up in the chat. If you come later, if you watch this later on YouTube, on Twitch, or whatever, you can always message me any questions or any clarification you need on any of the questions. Um, if you have like a follow up or I answered a question and it was not exactly what you were asking, you can send me a message and let me know, and I'll be happy. Give me some more information so that I can properly answer your question like to you, right? Um, if you are wanting to leave a question in the chat or wanting to ask a question, most of the applications that we use online have some sort of moderation tool in it. So there may be some things that you might type out that could get flagged, and I will never see that question. So if you have asked me a question or have at some point reached out and I have not gotten back to you, I probably didn't get that message. So try to send it again, or you can try to post it again, and I'll be happy to answer it. If you want to do it live, that's fine. If you don't want to ask your questions live, but you do have sexual health questions that you, hey, Khalif, sexual health questions that you do have, please feel free to you can message me at expressionofrepression@gmail.com, or you can answer you can inbox me on any of my social media platforms. Wherever you are, I probably am. So just search Coach Katasha and you can send me a message and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Hey friend, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm happy to see that you are still kicking. Okay. Oh, hold on. We are not going to do that way. We are going to be smart this time. There we go. Okay. So the question that we had for this week is from a viewer. I don't know. They may not be a viewer. It may just be somebody who found me online or anything. You never know. Everybody's welcome. I don't mind. You don't have to follow me or any of that to ask me any questions. You can just send me a chat and I will answer it for you. The question for this week is my nipples leak and I'm not pregnant. Is that normal? Okay. So let's talk about that. Yeah, well, you know what, friend? They ain't really been, it ain't been that much going on. I really think people got other stuff to be worried about right now. So, um, and that's totally fine. I get that. I got other stuff to be worried about too. So you know, you ain't really missed that much. Okay, so let's talk about leaky nipples. Okay, because uh, there was I was able to see the username for this person that sent the message, so that the person it looks like a girl name. Okay, so with the information that I deduced is what I'm going to give you today. Comma, but if you are asking that question on behalf of someone else or whatever, we're going to answer that too. Okay. So there are some instances in your life where your nipples can leak and you are not, it's not a terminal illness. Okay. There are different things, different hormones, different reactions in the body, and all types of things that can cause the nipples to leak. And so I looked up. Okay, I don't. That's not the page I wanted to show you though. Hold on. There we go. Did it change? Okay, okay, okay. So this is the NHS, which is the National Health Service for the UK, right? I like to use them because, right, I like to use them before, but I definitely want to use them now because you cannot trust the information that we have coming out from our administration. Okay, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. Those people are not experts in nothing but being pilgrims. Okay, that's they're expert pilgrims. So we just go leave that where it's at. Okay, so there are some instances where you may notice that your nipples will leak, that some reasons that it can be. Most people automatically think of cancer, but that's not necessarily the case. Pregnancy or breastfeeding, which you said you weren't pregnant, so that's fine. But um, something that you need to know is that 1 in 6 pregnancies end in miscarriage, which means and most people have that miscarriage before they even know that they're pregnant, right? So most miscarriages take place before the person even knows that they're pregnant. And when you talk about numbers like 1 in 6, we're talking about a pretty um I don't want to say normal because that's not the word that I want, but it is a pretty reoccurring situation, right? We're not talking about 1 in 1,000. We're not talking about 1 in 100. We're talking about 1 in 6 pregnancies end in miscarriage. So even if by the time that you check it, you are no longer pregnant, you could still be experiencing leakage or sore breasts from a miscarriage that you didn't know that you were carrying. Okay. Um, Non-cancerous changes in the breast that can happen with age. So ectasia. Okay. So duct ectasia is when the uh, milk ducts, jeez, the milk ducts can become enlarged, they can become inflamed, and they leak. And so it's just pretty much like a stretching out of that milk duct, and for it kind of hardens. It goes through a whole process, but that could cause the nipples to leak. A blocked or enlarged milk duct. So if you were pregnant or are pregnant and you are experiencing, so first of all, I've never been pregnant, so I don't know, but I heard that those things are painful. Like, it is not blocked or a messed up milk duct. I heard that it sucks. So you would know. I think you would know if that was the reason. Not saying that it's probably everything's 100%, but I do believe that if you had a blocked duct, that you would feel that. A small non-cancerous lump in the breast, so a papilloma. Most of the lumps that are found in the breast are actually non-cancerous, but we'll get into that in a second. Okay. So, but it could cause changes in the body and could cause the nipples to leak. A breast infection, of course, and a side effect of medicine, including the contraceptive pill. One thing that I did not see in here that I do think that is worth mentioning is that if you've ever had piercings, or if you've recently been pierced, nipple piercings are one of the longest healing piercings. Okay. It takes a long time for those to heal. And so you may have, it could be infection, it could be a milk duct, it could be all kinds of things. But if you have ever had a bar through your nipples, that also may be one of the reasons that you are experiencing leakage. So in most cases, it can be, just a change in your body, a change in your hormones, a change in the way something's moving, whatever. It could also be breast cancer. Okay, that is one of the side effects that you look for when you're doing a breast exam. Pivoting into that, um, the reason we were talking about lumps being mostly non-cancerous, the reason that they had stopped that, when I was younger, there was a big push for home breast exams, right? You were supposed to do it every month. You were not to do it when you were on your cycle, and they told you how to do it, right? You go up, you go down, you do all that. Well, what they were finding is all the lumps that were being found was causing a burden on the system, and it was also causing undue stress in patients because most of those will end up being non-cancerous lumps, right? But once the lump is found, people feel better if it's removed and it was just causing unnecessary surgery, unnecessary burdens on the medical system, and unnecessary mental burdens for patients because you think you got cancer, you find a lump, you think you got cancer, and that's not always the case. So they scaled back on at-home breast exams on you finding the lumps, and in that time frame, more black women have died from breast cancer. Even though we get the diagnosis at the same rate as about our non-white partners, black women are more likely to die from breast cancer, and that's usually because of a lot of different things. It's medical distrust, it's late finding, it's all kinds of different things that can happen. Oh, hey, Captain Christmas. That's a cute name. I like that. But so although there has been a pullback on doing at-home breast exams, there has been an uptick in black healthcare for them to reintegrate that part into your monthly cycle, right? Because we are at a higher propensity to die from it, as most types of cancers, but breast cancer is it's the same thing. Even though we get it at the same rates, we have a higher probability of dying. So it's important that you are doing your at-home breast exams and that you are being very diligent in that, because we got to keep the parents here. We can't be getting taken out by lumps in the boobs. There's so many cooler ways to go out. Okay. So it's important that we are doing our part to make sure that these little piddly things don't take us out. If I'm going out in the parking lot of DG's with 6 strippers surrounding me. I don't want to go out with a lump. That's not how I want to go out. So it's important. With that being said, let's talk about what you need to be looking for. And this is not just for women. About 5% now, I think, was the last number. I don't know how long ago I had that number, but are also breast cancer is also found in men. So one of the most famous cases of breast cancer in men would be Montel. Which one is it? Montel Williams, not Jordan. Montel Williams. He spent a lot of time talking about breast cancer, him having breast cancer as a male. So it is important for everyone, especially if you have more mass and tissue up there, for you to be checking and making sure that there's no lumps. You don't know what's in the food. We don't know if it's the cell phones. We don't know if it's the tablets. We don't know if it's the chicken nuggets. We don't know, okay? But there are higher rates of certain types of things now than they were, 20, 30 years ago. So, the people that are selling you the things are not selling you the best things. They're selling you the cheapest things that they can make the most money off of. And so some of that has you know, trickled over into our food. It has trickled over into our lives in other ways. And so it's just important that you won't be able to avoid it, but we're not letting it take us out. Okay. We're not going out like that. Again, I need a booty right here, and a booty right here, and I need supplies to be playing in the background or something. I'm not going out like that. Okay. So if you are um, interested in learning how to do a self breast exam, this is the information that you need. What are you going to be looking for? What do you need to do? Right. And this is going to be, you're going to do this not necessarily if you have ovaries. You're not necessarily going to do this on your period. Okay. It is best to do it like a week or so after, because on your period, your body actually just changes and stuff comes up that could go away. by the time your cycle drops and all that. So it's not the best to do this when you're on your cycle. I usually try to time mine like a week or so after. Um, and what you're going to be looking for when you're looking at the breast, you're going to get in the mirror. You need to stand and see what's going on. Put your hands on your hips so you can see if one is bigger than the other one. Is one hanging lower than the other one? Are we showing dimpling? Do we have inverted nipples? Inverted nipples is also a telltale sign of issues. Um, Maybe not necessarily cancer, yes to cancer, but other issues as well. The only thing I can think where it wouldn't be necessarily an issue, sometimes the nipples do invert on their own when you're going through menopause and things like that, but it usually fixes on its own as well. So, but still, you need to be watching it to know if this is one of those times or if this, I need to have somebody looking at me, okay? If you're experiencing leakage from your nipples, if you have dimpling, so if you're noticing caves in different parts of the breast tissue, if you're noticing tenderness and you're getting these bruises that you're not quite sure of, those are signs that, maybe something deeper is going on. So let's talk about how we actually complete um the exam, okay? So how do you do a breast exam? You want to use the pads of your first three fingers, okay? And the pads are the tips. It's not the edge where your nail is. It's going to be the pads. The same one when you're shampooing your hair. You're not scratching with your nails using the pads of your fingers. And you're going to use three different motions, okay? You're going to go up and down the full width of the breast. Make sure you don't forget the underarms. You're going to go from circle out. You're going to start in the middle and work your way out. Circle out from the nipple. You'll see the arrows pointing the direction that you want to look. And then you're going to work your way in. You're going to go all the way around and work your way toward the nipple in the middle. You want to look for sore spots. We're looking for lumps. We're looking for hard areas. We're looking for tenderness. We're looking for irregularities. Is there dimpling under that? And so on and so forth. Now, if you have ever been to your monthly or your yearly exam, the physician usually does a breast exam for you. I don't know for men. I don't think they have a yearly exam. You probably need one though, because black men are also dying at a higher rate for prostate cancer than their counterparts. So you probably need to be um I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a bigger schedule. I know that we're supposed to go once a year, but I don't know what the schedule for men is. I'm gonna have to look that up because I should know that. But it's important that you are making those appointments and that you are staying on top of your health. They aren't going to be able to help you if they don't know it's there. You have to know first. Okay, so now we found if you do find a lump. What if you're feeling around and something is, you do feel something in there? Well, it's not to worry. 80% of lumps are non-cancerous. Okay, when they take it out and they do the biopsy on it, they don't show the cancerous cells, or if they do the biopsy and check it, they don't find cancerous cells. So most of the time, if you do find a lump, there's a high probability that that lump is not cancerous. It is scary, I will give you that. And it's really difficult to not get worked up if you do find a lump. But just know that in most cases, the lump that you're feeling for is not there to harm you. Like, it's a pretty high probability that you're going to be fine. Okay. So if you do, there are different types of treatments that they have available for it. It just depends on what you need. Um, and again, may not necessarily be what you have to face if you do find a lump or if you do something does happen. But whatever you do find, it is important that you are keeping you need to know your body. Okay, you need to know every mole. You need to know, every bump, every dip, every curve of your body. You need to be familiar with. And if you can do that, when something like this does arise, say you are diligent in your monthly breast exams, and then one month you do feel something, you will know that last month I didn't feel this. So I'm going to keep an eye on it and we'll see if we feel it next month. And then if it continues, then you know you need to make an appointment. Okay. The earlier that you can get seen for any type of issues like that, the better your treatment outcomes. So don't sit on it. Don't sit on it for 6 months. If you notice a lump, if you notice dimpling, if you notice leaking nipples, and you're seeing some of the other symptoms, then absolutely make an appointment with your doctor. Now, for the most part, leaky nipples is something that can happen. You may be taking prenatal vitamins. I know a lot of people who are not pregnant, who have never been pregnant, who take prenatal vitamins. Prenatal vitamins have a ingredient in them that is it's there for your boobs. Okay, it's there to help your milk and all that stuff. And so there is a probability that if you are taking certain types of medications or vitamins or whatever, you could be experiencing leaking from the nipples, and it just be that. So I would say keep an eye on it. If it's a reoccurring thing, you may need to get that checked out. If it's just something that, you're older now, I don't know how old you are, but, if you're going through menopause, your body's going to be dumb. It's going to be dumb like the 10 years before the menopause even start. And so your body is going to start doing all kinds of ignorant things about 10 years before you're supposed to go into menopause. Okay, it's gonna start getting really, really stupid. So just make sure you're making space for yourself, keeping an eye on your body, and knowing what you are, like what your norm is. What's your homeostasis? Where should I be? How should my breast feel? So on and so forth. So um, I hope that wasn't I hope that wasn't too much for you. But I wouldn't necessarily be worried too much about it. Um, because there are reasons that it could be happening that have nothing to do with any life threatening, illness. It's just that, this happened or this happened or this happened. But you want to make sure that it's not that too. Because again, we can't go out like that. There's too much cool shit to be doing to be going out like that. Okay. So make sure you're rubbing those ninnies. I do a monthly reminder. So if you need one, please feel free to follow Expression of Repression. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on LinkedIn. I'll be on LinkedIn talking about the same thing. You can follow me wherever to get your monthly reminder that you need to be doing your self-breast exam. Okay. And with that reminder, each month comes the class that we were just looking at and how you should be doing it and what you should do. So, if you need it, it's there for you. Okay. All right. All right. Let me check and see if we have any other questions. What we got going on Wednesday? My coworker told me it's supposed to be tornadoes this week. Like, dang, it's already time? It's already tornado time? Snuck right up on me. Okay, let's see. Doesn't look like we have anything. Okay, well, keep in mind if you do end up having a sexual health question, or if you later on you're like, oh, I should have, wow, or I should have asked, please, please, please message me. I will be happy to answer it for you. I'm not here to judge you. I am, that is not my job and that is not my business. I am here to make sure that you are being safe and you are having fun. And that is my only two responsibilities. Okay. So whatever you're getting into, more power to you. Do it 2 more times for me. But I'm here to make sure that whatever it is that you are doing, that you're doing it safely and that you are having a good time. Okay. So please feel free to message me. You can message me let me put in the chat, at expressionofrepression@gmail.com. You can go to our website, expressionofrepression.com, and shoot me a message. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on TikTok. Actually, I don't know if I'm on TikTok because I think I think I might have deleted that. Yeah, I might have deleted that. Actually, I mean, I think I deleted everything, but I do still like check in for my business. Since I don't use my TikTok for business, I haven't checked it like in probably is it been a month? It's probably been more than a month at this point. Yeah, I'm sure nothing. The same stuff's happened, so I'm not that. But so don't send it to TikTok because I might not see it for a month. But if you want to send it to any of my professional channels, I will be happy to answer them. And let me put my link tree in here. If you need to follow me, this will have all of my socials on there. It'll also have any of the stuff that I got going on, and I usually have stuff going on. You can check out any of the podcasts I've been on and all that stuff usually there. So feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to help. I want you to get the answers to your questions. I'm not here to police your language. If you are using the wrong language, I will correct you. Okay. But I'm not here to tell you, to cuss you out for saying something inappropriate or whatever. I understand that not everybody has the language for the conversations they need to have. So I'm, making the space for that. Now, if you get to cutting up, I'll get you up out of here. I don't care nothing about it. I will get you up out of here. But that's not, in the year that I've been doing this now, at this point, I've not encountered that. So, well, not on a regular basis. So we're doing good. But please feel free to send your questions. If you want to send them, want them answered live, you can drop them in the chat and I'll be happy to answer them live. If you do not want your question attached to your username, I also understand that. So please, you can message me. I will bring it back to the chat on your behalf. I will still answer the question live, but I'll bring it back to the chat on your behalf so it's not necessarily attached to your name. And most of the time, if you have questions that you secretly want to ask, there's other people who also have probably that same question that they secretly want to ask that they can't, just because they're not in a space to do that. So you're helping other people by asking me, inappropriate questions. You're doing community service and you need to put it on your taxes. That's all I'm saying. They need to be paying you, running you your money for helping the community, being a pillar in your community. Okay. Well, that's all we have for this week. We will be back next week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for Ask Coach Catasha. Feel free to send your questions in the meantime, and I will bring them back to the chat next